Hello, welcome to the next video lecture of time domain stability analysis. In the last lecture, we have seen how to find poles, zeros, pole zero plot and characteristic equation from the given transfer function. In this lecture, we are going to see analysis of first order and second order system for step input. Recall that there are four types of input. The first is step input, second is ramp input, then parabolic input, and the last is impulse input. Okay, then why it is called as first order system? So see the equation of g of s, equation of gain. So in the denominator, s is having power is equal to 1, so it is called as first order system. So see the first order system shown in the diagram, and here g of s is equal to 1 upon ts and h of s is equal to 1. Since it is having unity gain, h of s is equal to 1. Then c of s divided by r of s is equal to g divided by 1 plus gh equal to 1 upon ts divided by 1 plus 1 upon ts. So we get the transfer function as 1 upon 1 plus ts. Okay, so recall for the step input r of t is equal to u of t for t greater than 0 and it is equal to 0 for t less than 0. Okay, so for the negative values the step input is having 0, and starting from 0 to positive values it is having the constant output. Okay, so r of t is equal to u of t. So taking Laplace transform of r of t is equal to u of t, you will get r of s is equal to Laplace of r into u of t. So that is 1 upon s. So c of s upon r of s becomes 1 divided by 1 plus ts. So transferring r of s to the right side, we will get 1 upon 1 plus ts into. So by using the partial fraction, so we have seen the partial fraction in the mathematics. Okay, it is used to calculate the roots. Okay, so recall that from the mathematics. So using partial fraction, this c of s becomes a upon s plus b upon s plus 1 upon t. So we have to substitute one by one. That is, first thing is a upon s is equal to c of s. So that becomes a is equal to s into c of s, where s is equal to 0. Why s is equal to 0? Because s is single. Okay, in a upon s. So s is equated to 0. So by putting s is equal to 0, we will get a is equal to 1. Okay, then about b. Now equate b divided by s plus 1 upon t is equal to c of s. So by transferring s plus 1 upon t to the another side, we will get b is equal to s plus 1 upon t into c of s. Okay, so now see the denominator, then s plus 1 upon t is equal to 0. Okay, so s is equal to minus 1 upon t. So by substituting this value in this equation, we will get b is equal to 1. So the equation becomes c of s is equal to 1 upon s minus 1 divided by s plus 1 upon t. Taking the Laplace transform, we will get inverse Laplace transform, we will get Laplace inverse of 1 upon s, that is equal to 1. Laplace inverse of 1 upon s plus 1 upon t is e raised to minus small t by capital T. So C of t is equal to 1 minus e raised to minus 1 t by t. See here, now we will plot the Ct versus t. Take t as capital T, 2t, 3t, 4t, 5t and infinity, and substitute in the equation. Then we will get the C of t values, that is for t it is 0.632, for 2t it is 0.86, for 3t it is 0.95, for 4t it is 0.982, for 5t it is 0.993, and for infinity it is equal to 1. So when we draw the plot, it looks like the plot given at the right side. Then time constant t. The value of C of t is equal to 1 only at t is equal to infinity. So you can notice that practically the value of C of t is within 5% of the final value at t is equal to 3t, and within 2% at t is equal to 4t. So, in practice, t is equal to 3t or 4t may be taken as steady state. How quickly the value reaches steady state is a function of time constant of the system. Hence, smaller t indicates the quicker response. So, the system which is having small t has the quick response. Then damping. Every damping, every system has a tendency to oppose the oscillatory behavior of the system, and it is known as damping. Okay. Damping factor zeta. The damping factor in any system is measured by a factor or ratio which is known as damping ratio. It is created by zeta. Then analysis of second order system for step input. So here one second order system is given. You can observe in the denominator of this gain function the s into s. So that is a square term is there. So it is of second order. Hence the g of s becomes omega n square divided by s into s plus 2 zeta omega n, and h of s is equal to 1 here. Therefore c of s upon r of s is g divided by 1 plus gh. Okay, so we know the formula for transfer function of the closed loop system. Okay, g divided by 1 plus gh. So g is here omega n square divided by s into bracket s plus twice zeta omega n divided by 1 plus omega n square upon s into s plus omega n into zeta. So that becomes omega n square divided by square plus twice zeta omega n s plus omega n square. So the transfer function is in the standard form of closed loop transfer function, and the poles for this transfer function can be calculated by using the formula for roots. Okay, so we know the formula. Root is calculated as minus b plus minus root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. So our equation is s square minus 2 zeta omega n s plus omega n square is equal to 0. So here a is coefficient of s square, that is 1. Okay. B is coefficient of s, that is 2 zeta omega n, and C is coefficient of omega n square, that is 1. Okay, so substituting this, we will get s is equal to minus 2 zeta omega n plus minus root of 2 zeta omega n bracket square minus
4 omega n square. Simplifying this, we will get minus zeta omega n plus minus omega n root of zeta square minus 1. From this, we can predict the poles. The poles are real and unequal if root of zeta square minus 1 is greater than 0. Obviously, zeta greater than 1. Then these are real and unequal poles. They lie on the real axis and are distinct. Means they lie on real axis means on the x-axis. Okay, they are having the real value, and they are distinct means having different values. Both poles are having the different values. They are real and equal if root of zeta square minus 1 is equal to 0, that is zeta is equal to 1. Then they are repeated on real axis, means both the poles are on real axis and they are having they are having same values. Repeated means having same values. Next, the poles are complex if root of zeta square minus 1 is less than 0, that is zeta less than 1, then poles are in second and third quadrant. Okay, so roots will be complex or poles will be complex, such as minus 1 plus j and minus 1 minus j. Okay, so minus 1 plus j will be in the third quadrant and minus 1 minus j will be in the minus 1 plus j will be in the second quadrant and minus 1 minus j will be in the third quadrant. Now we will see the relation between zeta and the pole location. See, when the zeta lies between 0 and 1, the system is underdamped and the poles are in the second and third quadrant as shown in this figure. On the right side, there is step response, that is the underdamped step response. Now, when zeta is equal to 1, the system is critically damped and the poles are on the real axis and they are the same. They are having the same values. Okay, and the system response is as shown here for the critically damped system. Now, for zeta greater than 1, the poles are on the real axis for the negative side and they are having different values, and the step response for overdamped system is as shown here. Now, when zeta is equal to 0, the poles will be on the imaginary axis. Okay, so they will be having no real term, such as 2j and minus 2j, like this. Okay, and they are on the imaginary axis and the step response is shown here. Okay, now when zeta is in between 0 and minus 1, greater than 0, less than 0 and greater than minus 1, then the poles are on the in the first and fourth quadrant having different values. Okay, and the step response as shown in the right side of the diagram. See, the poles are having the values such as plus 1 plus j and plus 1 minus j. So this is one for example. So they will lie in the first and fourth quadrant of the S-plane. Now for zeta is equal to minus 1, the poles will be on the real axis. They will be having positive values. Okay, and the step response is as shown in the diagram. Finally, when zeta less than minus 1, then the poles are on the real axis. Okay, they are having only real value, they are having different values, means they are not same, and the step response is as given here. Okay, so in the next lecture we will see how to determine whether the system is stable or unstable depending on the location of the poles.